3, 2, 1.
You all right?
Coach said it's all right to bleed from the ears.
It's con whack!
All right, just be careful.
Let's go,
You know, you only have
Ross!
2 concussions left.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Steel Sanctuary Podcast. I'm your host, Dave Rivero from SteelSanctuary.com. I'm with Trent Ging, Bob Quinn, and David Corum popping up just in the nick of time. What's up, Dave?
Oh, if you guys knew the amount of chicken sandwich I engulfed in the truck on the way to get here. I mean, I put Pornhub to shame with the amount I
Oh,
engulfed.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
Whew.
What the hell?
What, a
Hey.
chicken sandwich?
It's a
I'm
minute
here.
3 in. We're off the fucking rails already. We can't do this.
I'm here. I'm here. Coming straight in, man, with the
I
left hook.
can't do this.
I'm
All right.
here. This is what you get. This is what you get. I don't know what to tell you. I'm
I
here.
guess all we can say is at least you weren't eating a hot dog.
There you go. I'm in.
That's
All right.
that is the
let's,
single greatest analogy to start a show, by the way. I love it.
I don't even know where to go after that. I don't know how to top that. We're searching for Steelers news high and low. Let's start with Peter Schrager giving us the take 2.
I
Ready?
just lost my whole lid to my drink. It just went flying across the roof. I don't know what happened here.
All right, let's pull it together. Let's pull it together here. All right.
And that's a great segue to our wide receiver room. We lost everything.
That's absolutely perfect, actually. Peter Schrager gave us the we should be ashamed for not wanting Mike Tomlin as our coach. That teams would line up around the building to hire Mike Tomlin. I don't know about you guys, and I'm fucking tired of hearing that. I'm tired of hearing it.
Oh,
From other-
wow. Shut the
Yeah,
fuck
right?
up. Like, it's over.
This is the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's not the freaking New York Jets or the Cincinnati Bengals. We've come to expect, after 6 Super Bowls, we've come to expect a certain amount of success. And we're not getting it. And as we've discussed a million times on this podcast, all things wrong with this team lead back to Mike Tomlin. His coaching, his stubbornness, the whole 9 yards. If you don't watch it every day, you don't see it. But if you watch it every day, you do see it, unless you've got the Steelers goggles on, which a lot of Steelers fans have.
Correct.
What do you guys think? I mean, is he right? Maybe a little bit, but
Do I think he would get a job tomorrow? Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
he'd get phone calls the second the news broke. But at the same time, I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles got rid of Andy Reid because the messaging was going stale. They weren't advancing anywhere, and they were hitting, competing for Super Bowls at points. Do the Eagles regret that decision? No. They've won. They've won Super Bowls since he's left with multiple coaches. It's not like it's impossible to do. Probably the exception to the rule, but like at the same time, when you see something continuing to be a pattern, change needs to be made. We're just running our head against the same wall over and over every single year and expecting a different result. It's literally the definition of insanity.
Yep.
Yes.
And
Even if you want to go,
It's just stupid. Okay. I don't care. I don't care what the national media thinks. I honestly don't. Half the shit they say is clueless anyways. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So look, I know what I've watched, and it's been, what is it? Haven't been won a playoff game since 2016? Is that right? I mean, that's ridiculous. Like that's unsatisfactory, man. Like everything is. Didn't a report come out this week that like Rooney even has Tomlin overrule him on a lot of stuff too?
Yeah.
This is the whole problem is Tomlin. Period. It don't matter what players you bring in. How many players have they brought in now that you thought would fix things, and nothing gets fixed, nothing changes? How many different offensive schemes and coordinators and whatever else you want to say they brought in? There's only one constant in this whole fucking thing: Mike Tomlin. That's it. So, no, I don't want him to be sticking around.
I've been taking it a slightly different direction. I echo everything all you guys just said. And somber
brings up, hey, why, what good does it do complaining as fans? Look, when the noise gets loud enough, eventually they got to listen. Believe me, fire Matt Canada on the Pat McAfee show is the only reason that, in my opinion, that Art Rooney fired Matt Canada during the season. I think they would have let him go at the end of the year. But to make an in-season move, it was becoming ridiculous. So complaining does help. At the very least, it makes us feel better. I'm going to say this, though. I do not think he would get another job right away. Because I'm starting to get strong George Seaton vibes off of Mike Tomlin. And the reason I say he won't get a job is because, yes, maybe somebody like the Jets, maybe somebody like the Lions, like the Lions used to be, the Saints, or somebody like that, like a moribund franchise, Jacksonville. I could see them moving heaven and earth to get a guy like Mike Tomlin because being 10-7 and 9-8 and all that seems like a really good idea on the surface. But remember, when George Seaver went to Carolina, he kind of got exposed. Pretty good defensive coordinator who didn't have Joe Montana and Steve Young. All of a sudden, he couldn't coach. Mike Tomlin has no faith in any coordinator he's ever had. If anything, he has done everything he could to get those coordinators out of the building. So now, if I'm a modern coach and I know the direction of the league, and I don't feel like a defense and a running game is going to win a Super Bowl for me, and everybody wants a Sean McVay flavor of the month, am I going to hire him? Look, would he get a job in TV in a second? And he should do it. If I was advising him, I'd say, Mike, go ahead, break Chuck Noll's record, and go to TV. Trust me. You'll be great in TV. You'll never get fired in TV. And 10 years from now, if you want to come back, you still got the itch. You can get a Gruden deal where you can come in and run a franchise somewhere, and everybody will kind of forget all the bad stuff that you did. Because Gruden won a Super Bowl, and everybody loved him. He's a quarterback whisperer, but his last 3 or 4 years in Tampa were really bad. So I don't believe he would get a job right away. I believe he'd be awesome.
I think he would definitely it'd be smart to. I think he would definitely get a job right away. But I also think it's a good point to bring up. He'd be smart to go into doing the media stuff. He'd make a killing. He would make more money in that than he would as a coach. They would pay him a ton of money.
I think it's two different arguments that you were saying, Bob. He'd get hired right away. Whether or not he'd be successful is another matter. But I think Schrager's right in the point where teams would line up. How many owners do you think would give their left leg just to have winning seasons?
Right.
Consistently.
Yeah.
You just brought up all those franchises, the Saints. There's a million of them. That they don't even care about Super Bowls. They just want to get out of the crappy situation they're in.
Let me throw this out to you. You don't think Cleveland would fire Stefanski and bring Tomlin in immediately?
Probably.
I guarantee you that there's a phone call made right there.
Jimmy Haslam, and I forget the Carolinas owner's name. They were part of that move of minority ownership to get rid of Tomlin back when the Antonio Brown thing broke down. So I don't know that that's as automatic as everybody thinks.
I'll give you another one. The Giants. The Giants would jump all over him. They'd fire whatchamacallit in a heartbeat to get him.
I don't think they'd fire Dable, but Dable's going to get himself fired after.
Here's the thing, though, about Tomlin. Tomlin makes you money because he can stay consistent. That's why owners would want him, is because he's going to consistently get butts in seats because his teams don't lose. That's why teams want him.
He's a get out of jail free card. You hire Tomlin, and you don't have to do anything else the rest of as an owner. You just sit back and he makes you legitimate. Whether or not you win a Super Bowl, that's a whole other issue. But
then again, think about what Marty Schottenheimer used to be. Tomlin has a Super Bowl on his resume, but if he didn't, Tomlin would be Marty Schottenheimer.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just good enough to get you into playoffs, but you got no fucking chance when you get here.
Yeah, how many times did Schottenheimer get rehired, though? A ton, because people wanted that. They wanted that, baseline that they could hang their hat on. Well, he's going to get us to 9-10 wins, so a lot of these franchises would kill for that. And that's Schrager's point. But this isn't one of those franchises. This is the Steelers. 6 Super Bowls.
I'm kind of disappointed Schrager did this because he never did this in the NFL Network. As a matter of fact, he kind of not railed, but he was kind of a voice of dissent in this whole. This is Mike Florio's take, by the way. Strager is recycling Mike Florio's take. Mike Florio is the original. He'll get hired in a minute guy.
Rich Eisen's another one.
Maybe you're contractually obligated at ESPN to say Mike Tomlin can do no wrong.
Probably. All right, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about the Olave rumors that kind of surfaced earlier this week. I guess it's kind of been tamped down now as the Steelers maybe made a call just to see if he was available, and they were told no. He's a great receiver. I mean, he's been fantastic, but it's just taking him as a player. Those concussions. I mean, how do you parse that out for compensation? Like, what do you give up for a guy who's literally one concussion away from being out of the league? I can't even imagine. Fifth?
Well, they didn't actually say he wasn't available. They just apparently there's a difference in price. We don't know what that difference is. It could be they're saying, hey, give us a first or a second as an opening salvo. But as far as price goes, I mean, to me, he's going into his 4th year. You pick up his 5th-year option.
They already did, Bob. It's already picked up.
The Saints did.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Then you're rolling the dice on a half-price receiver who could end up being. I mean, let's face it. Before the concussions, he's a number 1 receiver. He's a bona fide number 1 receiver.
Yeah. He is. Do you know how much that 5th-year option is?
I think it's like $20 million. I looked it up.
$15 million bucks. $15 million bucks for a receiver like him. If he's healthy, that is a steal.
I'd give him a third and a fifth.
You give him a third and a fifth.
I'd do the Pickens deal.
What about you, Trent?
I agree with Bob. I think the talent is there to be a second round pick. The concussions knock it down for me. If you could get that guy for a 4th, like that's an unbelievable steal. But I think you have to at least say it's going to be a 3rd at minimum. So if you could pull a 3rd and a 5th, I'd be fine with it. I mean, if again, we're going to say this every damn week until it actually happens. But like if Aaron Rodgers signs here, you've got 2 bona fide number 1 receivers in this room for him to play with. Like, I mean, you can't go wrong with that. And if you're going to try to take a shot in the window with Cam and TJ and Minka, that really solidifies that window into going from, hey, Aaron shows up here, we're going to probably make a playoff and get beat by 28 fucking points, to, okay, now we're going to win a playoff game and we're going to be making a push and see where we can go with this thing. Like, I think that's what a trade like this could do. And that's what pairing a guy with DK Metcalf's ability with, Chris Olave's ability together. That's a deadly combination. I think Olave, before all the concussions, is a top 15 wide receiver.
I agree. Dave, what do you think?
A different skill set.
Yes.
Than DK.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a good point, Bob. I originally with this, I was like day 3 pick because of the concussions. The thing is, we got so many damn 3rd round picks that if a 3rd is the asking price, right? Yeah, we got tons. Like, so if the asking price is a 3rd, then I would pull the trigger, and I would, to make sure I get it done, go with the 3rd round pick, and then give them a day 3 pick on top of it. I mean, if you can grab him from that, I think it's good. Guy had 1,000 yards receiving 23, 1,000 yards receiving in 22. Just 24, the concussions and the injuries and stuff, was an issue. So, but yeah, I mean, if you don't got to give up a 1st or 2nd round pick, and we have a plethora, if you will, of 3rd round picks, then yeah, I would give that up. Definitely.
To Adam's point, listen, everyone likes Olave. There's nothing not to like about him except the injury.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. That's the only reason he's even considered to be on the market. Otherwise, the Saints wouldn't even think twice about trading him. He's a great wide receiver when he's healthy.
Have they said what they're asking?
They haven't.
Is there a rumor? Okay.
Oh, didn't somebody say it first?
I saw early day 2.
Early day two.
Yeah.
Which
you're talking second high, maybe high 2nd rounds. What maybe they're looking for.
So you're the Steelers. You've got, like you said, Trent. You've got Aaron Rodgers. You've got DK Metcalf. You've got your new backfield. It's very tempting. At first, I was like, nope, day 3 pick only. No way. Too many concussions. But then the more I started thinking about it, if you're going to go with this attitude of we're all in, fuck it, let's try it. You got a ton of picks. I could be convinced. Just give the 2nd round pick, roll the dice. I mean, Omar's not afraid of injured players. We know that.
Yeah,
no.
especially with 3/3. Because, I mean, let's face it. I mean, and we've talked about this a little bit before. if you're thinking you're going to bundle all these thirds and fourths into a first-round pick, no, it's not going to happen. You might be able to go a first, a third, and a next year's first to move up for a quarterback. Yeah. But maybe this year's second, like if you did a first, your first, next year's second, and a first for the next year. If you really want to try to fly up the board, it just depends on where you finish. And let's from Olave's perspective, I really think he should talk to the Saints and go, look, man, it's natural grass. I'm one concussion away from my career being over. Maybe I want to go to Pittsburgh and have a soccer field, not to mention the fact the CTE and the brain surgery community in Pittsburgh, it's the best in the world. They have somehow managed to keep Sidney Crosby on the ice for 10 years when he probably should have retired. But that being said, he's been relatively healthy. So whatever they did and figured it out, put that Pat Freiermuth helmet on him, get him on natural grass. Let's have that kid have a career.
I mean, it's so tempting because their offense would be, for the first time in a long time, more than competent, like scary. When was the last time you said that about a Steelers offense? Like intimidating. It's really tempting. You just wonder how much the Saints would really want to do it because they already picked up the 50-year option. So clearly they're interested in keeping him around. If they do trade him, they've got Rashid Shaheed and I think it's Brandon Cooks, right? Is their other wide receiver? They don't really have anything after that. So it's going to take an early second, maybe even a first to get it done. And then you're going to really start thinking about a first is too much.
I'm not doing it for a first. There's no way for a first. A second round pick is going to be a real stretch, but like, how often do you get a guy in the second round that doesn't pan out? I mean, we just threw a second round pick out the door for, a third round pick that the Cowboys could potentially get back. Yeah. I mean, like we threw George Pickens away for basically, a third round pick. Juju, I mean, we basically didn't get anything out of him. I mean, you're talking, it's much less likely that you hit on somebody at wide receiver. They become more of a crapshoot after you get past that first round. There's some nice players, but you never know if they're going to make it to a second contract. And honestly, Pittsburgh doesn't pay out second contracts to wide receivers. So if you get a bona fide guy like Chris Olave in the building at his price point now and next year, dude, I honestly, I'm kind of thinking right now, like you can take my second. If it gets him in the door and they feel like they're in a championship window, which I think the organization does, I'm not sure that they are, but the organization thinks that this is a championship roster. So, like, I think Omar Khan would pull the trigger on it.
How many years of control would we have with him if we did it?
This year or next year? Yeah.
You could always use franchise tag, which would
so he's technically
crazy.
so he's not a rental then. So it's not like it's not like the George Pickens scenario.
I'd give a third in Calvin Austin. Here's a third in Calvin Austin. I'll drive Calvin Austin to New Orleans myself.
Okay, we'll throw Scotty Miller in there too. Why not?
Yeah.
Hashtag
we'll throw Roman Wilson in the trunk too. You want him? Ben Skoranek.
We're trying to get the trade done.
Yeah, I know. I'm making it worse.
Skoranek might move the needle. I mean,
he probably would actually more than the other two.
The Saints are going to need a lot of special teams with that offense. He might be team MVP.
All right, we got a little Aaron Rodgers news this week. His biographer told somebody that he thinks Aaron's signing this week. Can Olave block once? That's awesome.
Would give the first if he could.
What do you guys give any credence to that? This biographer guy saying it's going to happen this week? Or I don't know. I can't.
No, I don't believe anything I hear at all.
I'm with you, Dave. I don't believe it either.
I mean, I guess it could happen by the end of May. I mean, then you got him for the OTA.
That's what he said, right? By the end of May. I guess anything's possible. Someone's going to get it right by just throwing a dart eventually.
We've been saying end of February, end of March.
Yeah, they've been trying for 6 months. Now they're going to find someone will get it right finally.
Before the draft.
I'm saying training camp at this point. That's I'm holding the training camp.
That's a great pick, Bob.
I mean,
and if it's not training camp, if it's not training camp, there's a good chance it's the preseason or maybe even the regular season. We
I'm
don't
going to
know.
say before
Trent,
September
that's
10th.
also a solid pick.
That's
Okay,
the
you
time
guys
frame we'll get.
nailing it. I like these predictions. Yes. Yes.
All right, one more thing before we get to our position review from this year to last year. I think somebody needs to check Charlie Batch for CTE because my man is off his fucking rocker.
What did he say?
Thinks,
I didn't see it.
he thinks Mason Rudolph could beat out Aaron Rodgers if Aaron Rodgers got here.
Ah. That's something.
Did he? Was it like he said something about if Aaron Rodgers shows up like after OTAs or something like that?
Maybe.
Wasn't there like a timetable stipulation to that? Like
if he shows up with one leg,
yeah,
Fat and out of shape.
Halftime of the first game. I mean, there's a good chance Mason would finish the game.
Literally,
Can we put a stop to this today?
At practice.
This Mason Rudolph nonsense has gone way too far, and now we got ex-players. Come on,
Look,
do we watch? Do we watch football?
Look, even I think they go 9-8 with Mason, but there's no fucking way I'm saying he's going to outdo Rodgers.
It's just crazy, man.
That's that next level. I can't get to that level.
Yeah, Mason Rudolph is going to be 9-8 with 2,500 yards passing.
Yes,
he's going to have seven touchdowns, 22 interceptions, and the run game. The run game carries us to all these damn wins.
Warren and Glenn, all those guys are going to have like 1,000.
They run the wheels off those guys.
Yeah, dude.
They're bringing back the jet sweep.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just I can't take the Mason Rudolph stuff anymore. These people. I don't know. I'm speechless. All right, let's get to our position. We're gonna compare what the Steelers position group is this year to last year, what they brought in, what they let go, and we're gonna decide if it's better in 2025 or worse. So let's start at quarterback. And we can't count Aaron Rodgers yet because he's not in the building. So they completely cleared out the room in case anybody wasn't paying attention. Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, and Kyle Allen all gone. Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, and Skylar Thompson in. This is worse.
Look, Will Howard. I mean, here's a guy. I'm just saying.
Don't do it.
A lot of things I like about the kid. I took the iPad out just now. Jesus.
Goodness.
I'm just saying, Will Howard's a nice pick. But no, this is worse right now. This is definitely 6th-round pick, Skylar Thompson, and Mason Rudolph.
Shower curtain, you're killing me. He's saying it's better.
All right.
There we go.
Okay. So here, if we can't count Aaron, overall you have to say it's worse.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say it's not as bad as you think. If Justin Fields was not in the mix for last year, I would actually agree with Shower and say this room is better. Because I think Russell Wilson was so bad and so washed that even Mason could play better than him. But bottom line is Mason is not as good as Justin Fields. Will Howard is not as good as Justin Fields. Will Howard is probably not as good as Kyle Allen.
Yet.
Yes.
I guess you could make the argument that Russell Wilson and Mason Rudolph is a push, maybe. I still think Russell's a little better, but
But Justin Fields puts it over the top. Now you throw Aaron into the mix, it's a no-brainer. This room is better.
Yeah. If Aaron comes, then it's a whole different ballgame. Let's do running back. In Caleb Johnson and Kenneth Gainwell. Out Najee Harris.
Hold on 1 second. I think Robert's got an interesting question.
Who's better at quarterback right now? Oh, Steelers or Browns right now as we speak. The Browns.
Are they?
Yeah, are they?
I think so.
I mean, you're talking about two of the bottom of the barrel teams at quarterback right now. Like, I mean, you can fucking flip a coin, and then
Flacco's better than any of them. Flacco's the best quarterback of the group.
Wait, we have an NCAA champion on our team.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, let's just get that out of the way.
But he doesn't have the words. He doesn't wear a hat that says legendary, though. I mean,
that's a good one.
I still, if you put those guys in a room, it's Flacco is the best one out of all of them, all 7 or 8 of them.
Who very well could be cut.
Yeah, he
Or
could end
plays
up being
one
cut at
game.
the end of the
the,
day,
the
but
fact they have 4 and we have 3, I mean, probably
he could be cut
it's a number
and end up the
game, I
Steelers
guess.
starter.
Yeah.
It's possible. I think Kenny has a chance to win that battle. I mean, it doesn't matter because Shador is going to be the quarterback by week 5.
Are we sure about that, Bob? Are we sure about that?
Yeah.
Bob is so
I'm
confident
sure.
that.
Oh, they did pay him. He was a 6th round pick. He got $1 million a season. 4
Did he
years,
really?
$4 million. Yeah.
What?
They gave him 4 years, four and a quarter, right?
Oh.
Because they have to decide. They're going to get him in earlier rather than later because they have to decide. Because they're going to pick high in next year's draft. Do we go back to quarterback again, or did we get lucky, insanely lucky that Shador, like maybe we got lucky with Will Howard?
But from everything we believe, the coach is like Gabriel. It's the owner that kind of wanted Sanders, right? I mean, that's the thing.
3rd round, didn't
Until
they?
they went to OTAs, and it looks like, I mean, from everything I saw, it looks like Shador has already kind of passed him up. Look, Dylan Gabriel is 4'10". I mean,
I'm not here to defend Dylan Gabriel. I just all right. Let's get back to Steelers talk. Running back.
They called him a leprechaun.
Caleb Johnson in, Kenneth Gainwell in, Najee Harris out, Cordero Patterson still sticking around somehow. This is a better room. This is a far better room, right? I don't think there's much argument here.
Yeah, it should be. I mean, KJ looks legit. So, yeah. Kenneth
Gainwell's
Gainwell,
better
I
than-
like.
Better than Patterson by a mile.
Oh,
and it's not saying much, but
I don't even. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know how he still has a job. How they have not cut him yet. I will never know.
he's not even in the top 4 on the depth chart, though.
Correct.
no. I mean, even just swapping out Johnson and Harris with the Arthur Smith offense, I think that's an easy argument to say it's an upgrade.
Dude, Troy Fautanu is faster on 1 knee than Cordell Patterson. Like, this is.
yeah, it's he's a starting kickoff returner. Just we're joking, having fun. When he starts returning kicks in week 1, it ain't gonna be fun anymore. No one's laughing.
In the league, it was last in the league.
Yep.
Yep.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
All right.
It's definitely better, and the thing that puts it way over the top is Kenneth Gainwell.
Well, I like Caleb Johnson. I think he's going to be fantastic. For me, him over Najee makes it. The two of them, you're right. Gainwell is so much better than Patty. You're right. This is the most improved position group, I think, out of the whole team.
And by the way,
Mike Tomlin team, go figure.
The sneaky pickup of Trey Sermon. Bottom line is that guy's healthy.
Oh,
that's an NFL caliber.
Hey, I forgot about that. Yeah, that definitely makes it better.
And there's only so many balls to go around, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Wide receiver. DK Metcalf and the legendary Robert Woods in. George Pickens, Van Jefferson, and Mike Williams out.
I think it's still an upgrade.
I say slightly better because DK is a little better than George.
DK is better than George. I don't think DK is slightly better than George. I think DK is a lot better than George.
Yeah.
He's a much better, more complete receiver than George Pickens is.
Question: who the fuck is Lance McCutcheon?
Is he on the roster?
He's on the depth chart.
He was a Saint.
He was a practice squad guy, I think, a couple years ago. And then we got cut. He was in camp. I don't know if he actually made the practice squad. But he was in camp. Yeah.
He's not going to make the team. Don't worry about him. What do you think, Bob?
This wide receiver group is better, but it's also incomplete at this point. Once they bring in the guy who's actually going to be the number 2 receiver, whether it's Keenan Allen, whether it's somebody else, this is going to be a lot better. Right now, it's just better.
You're assuming they go, just like we assumed all of last year that they were going to do it, and they didn't.
I'm not sure if they are.
There's actual free agent options this year that would still be an improvement.
Would be, yes. Do they want to do it? I don't know.
If they bring in another wide receiver, then I'll feel like this is, well, depending on the wide receiver they bring in. But I mean, I guess I could still say this is better than last year's.
So I'm assuming Calvin Austin is outside. He's a number 2.
I think they want to move Roman Wilson outside.
Yeah.
Really?
Robert Woods is going to play slot.
I think they want to move. I mean, I think you're still going to have Robert Woods playing the same role Van Jefferson did last year because he is actually a good blocker as a receiver. He's built very similarly to Van Jefferson. But like, I think ultimately the team wants to take a look at Roman Wilson playing on the outside, even though the dude's never done it in his entire life. So I don't know how that's going to pan out. But I think that's what they're waiting on with this whole receiver market.
It's a interesting decision.
Robert wants to get us some UFL receivers in here. Deion Kane, Vaughn.
Rock Taylor. People are high on Rock Taylor.
Let's go. I guess. I mean, at this point.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying. Like,
that's what I'm saying. He's
for sure.
As good option as any at this point.
Those UFL names are so recycled, and they're also now getting towards 30. If I'm going to get a 30-year-old receiver, I'm going to get the guy who was an All-Pro, Keenan Allen.
I mean, wasn't he a slot too?
I would go get Amari Cooper. If you're going to get a 30-year-old guy to come out and play outside, I'm going to go get Amari Cooper and just he's not who he was, but
Keenan Allen wasn't slot. I don't think, was he?
Yeah,
almost his whole career.
Was he? Okay, I couldn't remember.
But he can play outside.
He can.
Yeah, I was going to say I could have sworn because him and Mike Williams I thought were the outside guys with the Chargers.
They put him in the slot to make mismatches.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Let's talk about Calvin Austin for a second. His contract's up after the season too. Do they make any effort to re-sign him to a long-term deal, or do you just let the season play out?
Remember, the Steelers will get fined based on their current salary cap availability. They've got to spend some of that money.
I know they do.
Going to get fined.
Well, I think that's going to be TJ's extension and Aaron Rodgers too. I think that's going to cover it if Aaron Rodgers ever decides to come. What's the expectations for our boy CA3? Is he going to have 50 catches? 30 catches?
I don't know about catches, but he did lead the team and wide receiver core in touchdowns last season. So
it's not really saying much, but
I'm just saying. I'm just stating the facts.
How did he have more touchdowns than George Pickens? How was that even possible?
If
he ran more routes.
There you go.
There's that too.
Actually, I mean, he was not on the field as much, but he actually ran his routes more.
Yeah, not a bad point. And they double teams freaking because they knew.
Vaughn saying players playing out of position as the Steelers away. You are absolutely correct, my friend. You are absolutely correct.
I think Austin's best case scenario is the Juju contract where I tried to walk, but nobody wanted me. So I came back at a discount to the Steelers. And people always praise him like, oh, man, look at his sacrifice. He would have left if he could have got a contract. I mean, he came back for the 5th year because nobody wanted him. Now, he's had a pretty nice after the Steelers career, but he's a glorified tight end is what he is. He's perfect in Kansas City.
Before the knee injury, he was a top 20 wide receiver in this league.
He did really well.
The knee injury killed him.
The knee injury. Yeah.
Because he was on his way.
But he definitely changed after that knee injury. He just wasn't the same.
He's still a tough, hard-nosed guy who's going to have
Yeah.
I like Juju a lot. I always liked Juju a lot. You know, he had this social media stuff and it was kind of silly, but he walked the walk on the field. He played tough. He was a tough guy. He wasn't he's not an all-pro, but I liked him a lot. All right, let's do tight end. Donald Parham in. Nicole Pruitt out. I guess this is a push, right? This is just basically the same as last year.
Yeah, there's no.
You got bigger.
Yeah, you got taller, for sure.
True.
All right, let's do offensive line. This kind of shocked me. In basically nobody. Gareth Warren, the undrafted free agent. Unless I'm missing somebody. I don't think they signed anyone of substance.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking here, and I mean, it's.
And out was James Daniels, Dan Moore, and Nate Herbig.
Improvement.
Just because Dan Moore's gone?
Yep.
Addition by subtraction, baby.
I'm going to go first. Putting Broderick in his natural position.
Yep.
Patanu.
I agree with Bob. I think it technically is an upgrade, even though there's nobody new. It's an upgrade. We do get Broderick in his natural position. Patanu should be the upgrade at right tackle now. So, yeah.
And that's actually, if he's healthy, that's a massive upgrade.
Oh, yeah.
I will say this, though. I will caution it's another year of Sayamalu. And when's that going to fall off a cliff, his play?
Yeah.
I
agree.
The thing.
That was my offseason thing. Upgrade that guard spot and cut him. But
remember this, though. 2 years ago, Isaac was our best offensive lineman, and now he's our worst. So that group is getting better.
That's a good thing. That's a good sign.
Yeah. Randy, I'm glad to see you put smiley faces on there because I was starting to get worried about you if you were serious. And I think you're new to the chat, so I was a little concerned that you were maybe a Hayward family member or something like that.
A Michigan State alum.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm saying there, cocaine is a powerful drug.
The starting five should be better. The depth scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
They didn't bring like one person. Jesus Christ.
They had Spencer Anderson, I
Hey,
think
look.
pretty good jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You got the
Ryan
whole
McCullough.
Anderson family tree.
Ryan McCullough.
Good.
I guess I don't know.
Sharping, Max Sharping.
Yeah.
They love this kid Warren. From what I've heard, they love this kid Warren.
Oh,
Still,
D2 kid.
Three,
D2
Fit for a
kid.
year?
Yeah.
Mike
get
Tomlin
drafted.
loves a lot of players. How's that
Yeah.
work out?
Yeah. That's
I
a
think
little
I think
concerning.
I definitely think they're better. I mean, Dan Moore and Broderick Jones. I mean, they had the same issues last year. They just couldn't stop anybody from blowing right past them. So, I mean, you're moving one over to replace the other. You assume he's going to be better being in his natural position. So, like, it's a little better. But Falatonu was clearly a better player than Broderick Jones last year. So I think it's an
On the
upgrade
right.
there.
Yeah.
And you got to assume Zach Frazier continues to get better. McCormick continues to get a little bit better. And even if Sayamalu's not that guy he was in Philadelphia anymore, he just has to be okay.
Adam, this whole Daniels on a cheap deal. What did Daniels end up getting? Was it cheap?
He didn't sign a cheap deal, I don't think.
No.
Well, he
I
hasn't
just
signed
thought
yet.
he's
Didn't he?
coming back off
Didn't
of
he?
a major injury.
I want to say he signed for like almost $8 million a year.
Yeah, he signed a pretty decent deal. So I don't think there was any. I'll
Which
tell you, I'm gonna.
The guard market did blow up, so I guess that
Yeah.
kind of cheap can sit, but comparative, I guess. But like, I wouldn't have
he's-
considered that a cheap deal, honestly.
Well, I was just to Adam's point, just like, could they have got him cheap? I don't know if they could have. That was my thing.
Mm-mm.
Coming off an injury.
Yeah.
3 years,
maybe, but-
$24 million to Miami. That was
Yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't
Terrible.
happen.
I'm gonna keep a close eye on Dan Moore in Tennessee, because if he ends up halfway decent to good, then we gotta start running Meyer out of town, like right out of town.
Oh, that's a good point.
I'm very curious to see out of this Pat Meyer system how Dan Moore does. I'm not saying that he's going to turn into some superstar, but let's see. Let's see. Does he go the Kevin Dotson route, where all of a sudden, light bulb goes on and he's good?
Bob, what do you think he'll do?
Well,
I know
hold
Bob
on.
hates him.
No, Dan Moore never. Dotson was playing out of position.
Yeah.
Dan Moore
Yeah.
only plays left tackle, and just ask him; he'll tell you because he told the Steelers, "Fuck you, I ain't moving,"
Yeah.
and they went along with it.
Yeah.
So we've seen what he is as a left tackle. I don't think it changes now, unless he gets monumentally better coaching. Then yes,
That's my
maybe
point.
take an indictment, but
That's my
There's a chance.
there's no position change that's going to magically unblock.
No,
Dan
but-
Moore.
We'll see.
So he gave up the most sacks of any tackle in the league last year. He's the worst graded tackle in his entire career of all the tackles in the NFL. I don't
Fucking
understand.
purple.
And then paid him $83 million.
He did have a good beginning of the season. I think it was what, the first 6-7 games he did
Yeah,
all
I
right.
think the competition
And
was
he
kind of.
just
Well, yeah.
totally plummeted.
And then he still ended up giving up the most
I
sacks
did.
of any left
did.
tackle.
Look,
Literally
I'm
turned
not
into
here
a
to-
pumpkin overnight.
I'm not here to defend Dan Moore, but I'm curious to see what happens in Tennessee. All right, we'll flip over to defense now. Defensive line in Derek Harmon, Yaya Black. Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Yaya Black and
The yay
Daniel.
comes first, then the ya.
Yeah, and then Daniel Ukulele over there, whatever the hell his name is.
Ukulele.
is- Out is Larry Ogunjobi and Montravius Adams. They're just killing me with the names. They're trying to kill me.
There's no Montravius Adams. He's cut.
That's what I
Hashtag
mean,
Dave
out.
hates last names.
Out is Larry Ogunjobi and Montravius Adams. Those two guys are gone.
Listen,
Otherwise-
monumental upgrade. Larry O is no longer going to get pushed 45 yards fucking backwards on every run play.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, Derek Harmon just has to trip and fall over and take a lineman with him, and he's already better than Larry O. I mean, that's a clear upgrade. And I mean, Black, him and I like Montrevious Adams, but Black, he's probably built a little bit more towards the old school prototypical nose tackle for Pittsburgh, and hopefully helps in some of the run situations.
Not according to the Steelers coaching staff.
Fucking versatile. The word, there's 3 words in the damn English language that Mike Tomlin needs to just unlearn: versatility and risk adverse. For the love of God, just get rid of those 3 fucking words, and you'll be a better coach instantly.
Did PFF really list our defensive line as the strongest group in the league? I guess you could make that argument with if you include TJ.
Included TJ
and Highsmith, and Cam, and
He says we butchered the name still.
Is it yay? Somber saying, this is going to be bad. They got to cut this kid. Cut this kid immediately.
Watching us struggle this bad on one name is just priceless. Oh, great.
Why yay? Somber says. All right, why yay? We'll go with that for now. This group's better. This group's much better. Even if we can't say their names, they're better.
Let's just go with last names. Jeez.
Oh, God. All right, here's an easy one. Outside linebackers. In Jack Sawyer. Out Preston Smith. This is a wash. Maybe.
Wait, a wash? What?
You think Jack Sawyer's better than Preston Smith? That much better?
Yeah.
Did Preston Smith have more than 1 tackle since he got here?
I was going to say, you got a projected 2nd, 3rd rounder in the 4th round. That's definitely an upgrade.
Well,
Jack Sawyer's the new Nick Herbig. Here we go. Hall of Fame Sawyer now. Here we go. I can feel it coming. Oh, boy.
I mean, you're talking about 2 guys that got like 5 snaps a game. Like
I mean, don't get me wrong.
I
thought Preston Smith did well in what time he got to play. But I don't know. You get a projected 2nd, 3rd round in the 4th. I'd like to think this kid's going to be pretty good.
There's a big
He's slow.
difference.
He's not, I don't know.
Go ahead, Bob.
Big difference between college football and pro football. And Jack Sawyer was a great college football player. He will hopefully be a good pro football player. But to say that he's an upgrade over a guy who's been a Pro Bowler, Preston Smith, when he hasn't played a snap, he's very stiff. He's very upright. He's got a lot to learn. Now, I think he can learn it, but this year, no, he's not an upgrade over Preston Smith.
Well, he's good against the run, and that's all that matters, Bob.
Somber's got a hot take. He said Sawyer's going to be better than Herbig.
Ooh.
I don't know about that.
I'm not going there.
I'm not a Herbig fan either, but
they're 2 totally different players, in my opinion. Yeah, honestly.
Ohio State fan, how do you feel about that? Go ahead.
I totally disagree. Honestly, I mean, it depends on what you're looking for, though. Like, I think Nick Herbig is the guy that Pittsburgh wants. He's the pass rush specialist. He's going to be there and make all the big splash plays. Sawyer's your down and dirty guy. Like, he's going to stop the run. He's just going to stay in his position and stay in his lane. He's not going to get pushed off the ball. Like, they're 2 totally different players, which is why the pick kind of made a little bit of sense. I mean, not probably what we needed at the time, but I think it's a fine pick. I don't think he's better than Herbig by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, it depends on what you're talking about. He's probably going to be better against the run right off the bat.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
he's going to be a guy who grades out in the 80s at run stopping, but he's going to grade out in the fucking 20s at pass rush.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
Here we go. Howard and Sawyer and Canton. There we go.
Well,
it's starting already.
A+ draft pick.
And hold on, I've seen this take a lot actually, and not just by shower. Okay, I think Harmon is going to be very good, but let's slow down on the.
Yeah, he's not going to be defensive rookie of the year.
Defensive tackles don't win that award.
No,
and he's going to be in he's not even going to play as much as half these rookie defenders are going to play. He's going to be in a rotation, so
absolutely,
he's not going to get the numbers.
Potential this season. Last year seemed like a failure concerning.
Will they utilize Minka?
Randy, thanks for joining us, buddy. We welcome you to the program because we know you're new and you're asking us about Minka.
Yeah, you're preaching to the choir here. We all think they're using Minka wrong.
We always think that there's something they're going to do to maximize Minka's potential, and it just doesn't happen. So there's that.
There is a scenario where they've wasted the careers of Cam Hayward. I love it.
I was actually supporting him this time. I put the Homer aside for a minute.
Here we go, Bob. There's one for you.
There it is.
Castro, defensive rookie of the year.
I like Castro a lot, but I mean, if he had Beanie Bishop's year this year that Beanie Bishop had last year with the picks, I'd be very happy with that.
All right, inside linebackers. In is Malik Harrison and Carson Bruner. Out is Landon Roberts. I think that's not a good trade in my book.
I don't know.
It's not a good trade in my book.
It's better, and I'll tell you why. Because Cole Holcomb is probably going to play, and
that might save it. I didn't put him because he was on the team last year, but
that's a good point. I
if
think
he's healthy,
Holcomb plays and is healthy. Yeah.
What do you think, Trent? Trent's shaking his head. He's not a Holcomb believer.
Listen, Landon Roberts was an absolute stud, and when he was, man. Listen, I'll be honest.
I don't look
when Holcomb went down. He held the entire middle of that defense together. I mean, he's playing with 3 dudes that literally rolled out of bed and put on a fucking uniform in half of those games. Like he played so much better in pass coverage that year than I ever imagined he would have.
Yes.
Holcomb struggled a lot that first season. I think people forget that.
Yeah, look, great against the run. But every time offenses saw him out there, they're like, yeah, we're going to throw the ball. And
so did Holcomb. Check the numbers. Holcomb's completion percentage against him was off the charts.
Well,
and he gave up a ton of yardage.
You're talking about 2 years ago, right?
That same year before the injury.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
He gave up a ton of yardage.
I thought Roberts held his own 2 years ago when Holcomb went down. I don't disagree there. But this past season, it was bad, like really bad. So but I'm not really a Malik Harrison guy either. Like
Tony Serino hated him.
We're grading on a big fucking curve here because I don't know if anybody remembers what Trey McBride did to us with the 2-10 Cardinals and carved up the middle of the field. There's some guy named Roberts on him. Well,
that's a failure at the coach's level. You don't put Landon Roberts on one of the best tight ends in the league. That's just stupidity.
Who do you think the middle linebacker covers?
Use a safety to cover the tight end in that case. Or you don't put him on the field.
Bob, he's not perfect. God. Jesus.
Landon Roberts on Trey McBride. Oh, how was that going to go? No shit. It's a fucking mismatch of all mismatches.
Look, I agree. He's an elite run defender. I totally agree. And 2 years ago, he was the only option we really had. So did he play okay? Yes. I mean, he's not. I mean, Peyton Wilson and Patrick Queen is a massive upgrade over Cole Holcomb and Landon Roberts. So I'm okay with that. It's the depth. I think Holcomb has a little more versatility than Roberts had. The rest of it is, I mean, who knows? I wouldn't be shocked if Carson Bruner ends up as the third middle linebacker on this team.
I don't know. I don't know anything about Carson Bruner, so I'm not going to pass judgment. I mean, I can't say that I watch much.
A really good tackler.
Sounds like he's going to be a special teams ace.
But yeah, he's Mark Robinson.
Yeah.
Except he knows how to play the position.
Well, yeah, but he's the direct replacement for him. I just don't think he's going to make the team this year.
Exactly like that. Cornerbacks. Speaking of cornerbacks, Darius Slay and Brandon Eccles and Dante Kent in, out. Dante Jackson and Cam Sutton. I guess this is a win. It's a very low bar.
It's low bar, but it's better.
Yeah.
Sutton was horrendous.
All you had to do was get rid of Sutton, and I would have said this is a win.
Yeah.
Although you're still kind of the slot corner is still. I mean, Beanie showed flashes, but that could be a giant hole. And I don't know if Brandon Eccles is going to play slot or he's going to play outside.
A lot of questions.
Brandon Eccles ain't going to make the team.
Oh,
he better. Who else is going to play?
Well,
there's nobody else, Bob. James Pierre.
Beanie Bishop. Well, Pierre will make it because of special teams. We all know that.
Go ahead. Tell me Corey Trice. Go ahead. Tell me Corey Trice.
Yeah, Corey Trice.
When he's injured in week 3, then what?
Those will be the top 3 guys. Then you'll have Beanie Bishop. You'll have Sebastian Castro. And you'll have James Pierre as your other 3.
Aaron Rodgers knows a guy. Aaron Rodgers will bring in a guy. You got friends. We're going to be fine. Okay?
We got another new guy in the chat says Kent is greater than Trice. I don't know about that.
Is this Kent? Is Big Fun Kent?
Well, I'll tell you what.
Hey,
Kent on the field versus Trice with a cast on or something. Kent's better.
Wait a minute. Is this Clark Kent? Perhaps we're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Eccles has got to make the team. Just
If Eccles doesn't make the team, then Sebastian Castro shows out, and he slides in as slot corner with that safety versatility. I mean, that's the only way I see he doesn't make the team.
I think Trice is a super interesting potential slot corner too. He's huge. You got him. Not to mention the fact that they have apparently decided they're only going to stop the run this year. You put Trice in slot.
You don't want Trice close to the line of scrimmage, Bob. You don't want him in the middle. You'll have him out in the first quarter of week 1.
I've brought this up before, trying him in the slot. You don't want him anywhere near the line of scrimmage. Well,
the guy's made of glass.
Didn't they experiment with him in the slot in practices last year, though? Weren't they starting to do that as the year went on? I'm pretty sure they were playing around with it, and they actually were taking it seriously.
I still think his future is as safety. If I were him, I would be doing everything I could to convince them that I can play safety, because it's less on his body. He's a big guy, and he's a good hitter. He's not a bad tackler.
The way Minka plays free safety, you're right. It is less on the body because he's freaking 50 yards downfield.
Yep.
That is easier. That's it. All right. Speaking of safety, in Juan Thornhill and our boy Sebastian Castro. Out is DeMonte Casey.
Oh, great.
This is addition by subtraction again. Yeah. I don't know what Juan Thornhill is going to be with the Steelers, but
it was better than whatever KZ was. Put it that way.
Yeah, for sure.
And Casey had his moments. He wasn't terrible, but
3 years ago, Bob. He had his moments 3 years ago. I have been waiting since.
Casey.
Yeah, he was okay. He was okay.
He rolled out of bed this morning, pulled the hammy.
Yep.
He's on the pup list before it starts.
The real question is, can Deshaun Elliott maintain? Because if he can, this has the potential to be.
Yeah.
Bottom line is, though, Terrell Austin plays three safeties a lot more than anybody in the NFL, but he doesn't know how to fucking use them. So I don't understand why we got three safeties out there.
They like the thought. They like the thought of it. Yeah, they like the thought of having three safeties. Doesn't mean they're good at it. They like the thought of it.
I think it's a wash, honestly. I don't think Thornhill's really any different than Casey, in my opinion. I think they're the same guy.
Maybe
Thornhill might be a little bigger. I mean, Casey's probably a better tackler. Like I think Castro's got a better shot to make this team in a couple different positions than people think.
So
I promise this guy's not my burner account, but I'm already loving his takes.
Darius Slay was a top.
Randy's my guy.
Corner. He was a top 25 corner last year. Even if he falls off a little bit, he'll still be a top 50 corner, which means that he'll be in the top two cornerbacks in the NFL. So
I swear to God, if this is fucking Pat P all over again, I'm gonna lose my fucking mind.
It's not.
Just prepare.
Slay played really well last year. Philly only moved on from him because they got lucky with DeJean and the kid we should have drafted.
McKinley?
No, the what's his name?
Mitchell.
Yes, that's
Mitchell.
That's it. Yeah.
How many?
I think Darius Slay's better than Joey Porter Jr. right now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I don't think it's that close. I don't think it's close.
Him last year.
Wait,
you're absolutely right.
Who? I didn't.
I think Darius Slay is better than JPJ right now, and it's not that close.
As straight cover corner, I think you're right.
Total package. I think he's a better tackler. He's better cover corner. He's got better hands. I mean, he can lock up number ones and run stride for stride. I think Slay's a better player than fan base is so fixated on his age, which I get, but like that dude played fucking damn good football last year.
Dave's like
how many corners in the league over 33 are starting? I think it's one.
Is it?
No.
You're a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Don't forget about another guy who we should sign, Stephon Gilmore.
Oh, he's not starting right now. He's on the couch.
Again, a top 30 corner last year.
I don't know about that.
I don't know why nobody will sign the guy.
Defensive Player of the Year.
I don't know why nobody will sign the guy. It's just strange.
He'll sign. He's doing an Aaron Rodgers. He don't want to go to OTAs.
Maybe
he might be picking his team right now.
That's probably true that he just doesn't want to go to training camp. He's not going to make much more money either way, so you might as well hold out and wait.
Yeah.
Somebody gets injured and he probably get paid more.
Yeah, I mean those are guys who you bring them in. You know, even if they slip a little bit,
They're all
from
doing
top
it now.
20, top 30, and their top 50 top corners. You're telling me that's not better than Dante Jackson?
Well, listen. Yes, I hate it. You guys know I hated Dante Jackson, so anything's an improvement over that. But
by the way, if it were me, and I'm going to take the Brian Flores tact here, who loves cover zero, Joey Porter and Darius Slay as your press man corners on the outside. You bring Corey Trice in to press man cover the tight end, and then you blitz like fucking crazy. I think that could be a very effective strategy, and leave Minka in center field.
Or Corey Trice dies.
You know which team you're watching here, right? We don't blitz. We don't play press man, but we sign press man corners.
I did couch it with if I were the Brian Flores version.
Yeah. Yes, you did. I mean, it does sound good. It does, but this team is so schizophrenic with the way they call defense.
Yeah.
You know, we sign this player with a specialty, but we don't use them that way. But we sign them, and then we do this, and it's just, I don't know.
If Terrell Austin calls a cover zero, he's fired at halftime. Mike Tomlin is not dealing with that.
Yeah.
That is never happening.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
You're 100% right. I don't know.
It sure works. Works like a charm against Lamar Jackson, too.
Yeah, that's not risk adverse, though, Bob. Come on now.
It did not work against Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
What's Relic saying here?
Just saying.
Dave hates anyone who isn't 23, 90 overall Madden, and is on Steelers XD. Well, listen, it helps when they're younger and they can actually play well. I don't know what kind of team you're trying to put together, but I like young players who are good. That's usually how you build a football team. Maybe.
It's a thought.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I can't. We'll see. Week 4, when Darius Slay can't keep up with anybody, and you guys are like, "Oh man, he was a good cover corner in 24. What happened? He's 34 fucking years old."
Dave's keeping receipts on this. I love it.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
Oh yeah.
I haven't forgiven them for the Patrick Peterson thing. It still bugs me to this day.
This is right next to the Jackson Dart folder, ain't it?
Yeah.
You should see my book of receipts.
I don't know if any of you caught Starkey today, but they went through and they ranked like the best quarterback in each division, and they were trying to advance Jackson Dart for about 10 seconds in the NFC East argument over Dak and Jaden and Jalen Hurts. And
Even I say that's ridiculous, but I mean,
it was tongue in cheek, but they did bring up a very valid point. If Brian Daboll gets fired and a new GM comes in, Jackson Dart might be out of the league.
you're just praying and hoping. You're not giving up that Mr. Legendary is going to start by week 4, and Jackson Dart will be off the team by.
You just took a whole can of gasoline, just dumped it on this fire with Dave. Like, God damn!
I'm not. I'm telling you.
Unprovoked.
Daboll is coaching for his job. He's not going to throw the first rounder in there if they get off to a slow start. If he starts the season, and what would
I heard somewhere they have the toughest schedule in the league. Overall, the Giants do, which is kind of crazy because they finished.
I'm not sure.
Last, didn't they, in the division? They should have an easy schedule, but I heard somewhere they had the toughest schedule in the league.
And in all fairness to Big Pun here, Justin Lane really never gave Justin Lane a chance.
Yeah, I mean,
the Steelers can't pick corners to save the freaking line.
But he never did anything, and any chance he got, he didn't do anything. Nothing.
Converted wide receiver who wasn't even good at catching the damn ball.
Yeah.
Justin Lane just should have stuck to basketball.
I had high hopes for him too, but it never panned out.
I thought he was a 3rd-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 3rd? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Oh Lord!
But I want to say that was the same draft as Artie Burns, right?
No, it was a different year.
That was a couple years after.
Yeah.
Kevin Colbert's misses all blend together.
Yeah. She's tried to drag me in twice in 5 minutes. I'm not taking the fucking bait. I'm not taking it. I'm not doing Kevin Colbert today. We'll wait till Omar Khan's fired next year. Then we'll rehash this over.
Oh, Jesus.
Bob went after dark and cold within
And within
3
5
minutes.
Just trying to suck me in. No. Special teams, Cameron Johnson should be back, I assume, right? He's had a year to rehab this fucking injury, so hopefully
yeah.
Because he's a pretty highly paid punter.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good punter.
He's good.
He is a good punter. Yeah.
He's good. So
we'll see. He hasn't punted much for the Steelers yet.
Yeah,
we'll
no comment on Corliss Waitman, who did a fantastic job last year.
Waitman was pretty good.
Yeah, as a guy that had to come in there. Yeah.
Bottom line is, if they're both healthy, they're not in the same league.
No.
And kick returner, like I brought up before, it's CPAT.
No.
Gainwell.
Actually says in here
Gainwell.
Gainwell is the kick return now. So,
but he hasn't earned Tomlin's trust yet. So you got to wait and see.
He earned the trust when he cooked us all last year in that damn fucking game against the Eagles.
Gainwell's that veteran. What's that Tomlin saying? It's his first game as a Steeler, but it's not his first game in the NFL. So he's got the trust, I think.
Yeah, Samba heard that too. He said the Niners have the easiest strength of schedule Purdy's going to need. And can we talk about Purdy's contract for a minute? You get 50-something million and a no-trade clause? Are they out of their fucking minds?
I'll just say I was very excited when this news broke because it took an Aaron Rodgers destination off the table.
It did. But man, I'm sorry. I don't pay Brock Purdy $50 million a year. He's not that guy.
No.
He's not that guy.
That's crazy.
He's a product of Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I bet you he
could throw most of the quarterbacks in the league in there. Half of the backups could go in there, not probably do what he did, but they could make that offense work.
I do not understand. The 49ers used to be a smart franchise. They make some questionable decisions.
They're paying like 5 guys what they should be paying most of the team.
Yep.
At this point, I mean, the Fred Warner deals, was it done now? I think it just got done, and they got Ayuk that they're like shopping the year after they go through this whole contract fiasco with him.
Okay, so he's the 8th highest quarterback in the league, 8th highest paid. You know who's immediately behind him?
You got a big smirk on your face. I'm trying to figure out.
You're going to be shocked when you hear these two names. You really are.
Go ahead. I can't think of it.
Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson. He's getting paid more than Lamar.
Wow.
And it's all when your contract falls. That's kind of part of it too.
Yeah,
the newest guy is always paid more. But
put him in that same bracket?
If I'm San Francisco, I'm doing just what you said. Here's Justin Herbert. Here's Lamar Jackson, and here's you down here. You're not getting paid what they're getting paid, but.
And now, in fairness, though, he's only getting paid $500,000 more than Herbert and $1 million more than Lamar.
Yeah, but he's not even close to Lamar Jackson alone. He's not even the same stratosphere.
No.
Well, think about who's the highest paid quarterback in the league. Dak fucking Prescott, who sucks. And then Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. Okay, 2-3, get it, no problem.
Well, the Cowboys
Trevor
are just
Lawrence,
idiots, but yeah.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love. Okay, I can kind of go along with that. Tua, Jared Goff, I like, but come on.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes isn't even top 10.
Some of these teams were just held hostage or something.
Yeah.
I just.
They're afraid to lose their starting quarterback. Is what happens.
They're
petrified.
Like, wow.
Yep.
I think
Relic brought up AB. Man, it's not long now before that guy. He's going to be in jail or dead. I mean,
I don't think that's what he was talking about, but okay.
No, but I mean that's a segue to what happened this weekend about.
Yeah.
It makes me sad. It does because he was one of my favorite player for 5 or 6 years. I
needs
love
help.
Antonio Brown, but my man's lost. So it's crazy. It's a miracle he's not in jail. He's firing off a gun.
He even joked that he's not off that he was off his Lexapro or something. I don't know. I saw a tweet joking about that. He's also claiming he got jumped. That's why he pulled a gun out.
Yeah, I think that's what came out. His video kind of supported the fact that he was attacked.
I saw the guy that he supposedly jumped him on Twitter today saying that he's claiming the opposite, that AB jumped him and some of his boys jumped in, and who knows. who knows?
I get,
It's fucking
yeah, I
crazy.
don't know. I've seen a bunch of stuff. You don't know what's true or not true, but I guess like AB was with that guy's girlfriend or something.
Yeah.
So
It's only a matter of time.
the days of our lives here on Steelers Sanctuary.
It makes me sad.
Hey, one thing I do want to say to our new guy Randy here, Purdy did go to a Super Bowl. He has an NFC Championship.
Yeah.
So
That team was
There's a lot of
loaded,
guys on
and
that
Shanahan
list.
was the coach. I know you can't take it away from him because he did go. I get
Yeah,
it. But
he
Josh
went to
Allen,
Super Bowl.
Lamar Jackson, they ain't been there.
yeah, still. Just watch. Just look at. Use your eyes. Watch them. I get it. You're right. But if you put either one of those quarterbacks, Justin Herbert or Lamar Jackson, on San Francisco,
oh my God,
you got championships.
Bob literally sounds like Purdy's agent because that's probably what they said.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it, that's probably what they said. It was that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just think of Justin Herbert on the 49ers. It's fucking terrifying.
I don't want to.
I think Brock Purdy's agent's pitch, by the way, I think his pitch was, what are you going to do? Bring in Aaron Rodgers?
They could have probably won with Aaron Rodgers as much as they could have.
They could have, but think about it. I'm a young guy. I'm in demand. If you flip it, now I'm going. If he was truly a free agent, don't you think he would have been the first guy off the market? Wouldn't be Justin Fields or Sam fucking Darnold.
Yeah, probably because this free agent class was terrible. I wonder if he would have got paid $50 million on the open market.
Be interesting.
Good question. Probably, maybe. I mean,
I'm Seattle. I see him twice a year. I think I kind of like that idea. And again, it's cheap. We shouldn't be paying wide receivers $35 million. Damn sure shouldn't be paying edge rushers $40 million. But bottom line is that's the market, and whether we agree that that's what it costs, if you're going to be the top of that position, then I guess that's what you got to pay.
Bob,
I'm going to let you take this one.
Yeah.
Did you say Purdy is better than Neil O'Donnell? I like Neil O'Donnell. I don't know.
Well, okay.
Except until the Super Bowl, then I didn't like him anymore.
I was going to say.
There's a lot of Neil O'Donnell retro. And yes, when he was playing for the Steelers, I liked him. But if you actually go back and watch the games, certainly at the time was a huge improvement over what we had seen in the 80s leading up to him. No, I would say Purdy is actually better than Neil O'Donnell. And number one, when he went to the Super Bowl, he didn't fucking lose it. And number two, they didn't lose it because of Purdy. Purdy played pretty well. But yeah,
yeah, O'Donnell choked in that game.
Neil O'Donnell also became a career back. He lost that game. It destroyed his career. It's questionable whether he was really a starting level quarterback to begin with because he never started again. Had a long, great career.
No, he started for the Jets for a little while, Bob. For at least 1 or 2 seasons.
Now,
with Parcells' guy.
Like a half season.
I was like 11 or 12 years old during this time frame. I mean, I recall him really being shitty until the Super Bowl season. He was good that season. And then when he got there, it was like he forgot who his wide receivers were.
Okay, I forgot. His first year with the Jets, he only started 6 games. He did in 97 start 14 for the Jets.
Yeah, I thought so.
I remember that vaguely, too.
He got hurt the first year, I think.
After he left Pittsburgh, after the Super Bowl, he only started 10 games in a season twice. He started 11 with Cincinnati in 98, 14 with the Jets in 97. And then he only started 8 games the rest of his career, and he played another 6 years.
Yeah.
So for him, not bad.
He was
I'll be honest. I think if you take Purdy out of San Francisco, I don't think he's any better than Neil O'Donnell. I think he's a career backup.
Do you think it's a wash, or do you think he's worse than O'Donnell?
I would say they're pretty much a wash.
A wash.
Yeah. I just think I hate the whole system quarterback thing, but like Purdy fits the mold.
I mean, he was the last player taken in the draft, right? I
know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't think he's that as good as what he's kind of built out to be. It's so much Shanahan.
Mr. Irrelevant. Now you're making $250 million fucking
with a no trade clause. Like, does his agent have pictures of the freaking 49ers owners? How the hell did he pull that off? I don't understand.
Well, this is a classic case of you should have paid him last year. You should have paid him last year.
Yeah, you're probably right.
He was making
You're probably
$240,000 a year, and they milked that shit for 4 years, and now he's like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna pay me like a top 10 quarterback because you ain't got no choice."
Yeah.
One thing about O'Donnell too to remember, and not that in the 90s, 3,000 was a lot more common. 4,000 was uncommon. He never threw for 3,000 yards in his career. He never threw for 20 touchdowns in a season either.
Yeah, but not to defend him, but those Steeler teams in that era were run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, throw in desperation.
The year they went to the Super Bowl, it's actually the opposite because Cowher has done a lot of interviews on this. He realized his best thing was the passing game. It took O'Donnell the Big Pen, and he just turned it over to O'Donnell. As soon as they started throwing the ball, they went on a nice streak, and that's how they got to the Super Bowl.
All right. That's all I got, unless you guys got anything else. The Neil O'Donnell talk will wrap up the podcast for today.
I think we've reached that point. It's time to go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Trent, for coming on with us again. Don't forget to check out his Here We Go podcast. Thanks, everybody in the chat. The chat was great tonight, as usual. We had a ton of new guys. Let's keep that going. Like and subscribe, guys. Thanks a lot. Until Thursday, thank you for listening to the Steelers Sanctuary podcast.
But he's not weird or anything, is he?
No. No, he's totally normal. I think you should be working at the snack bar.
You better relax, Bob.
I mean, you know, normal for us.
All right, let's go.
Now you've had enough.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
Okay, crazy guy. I'm gonna go home now.